Have you ever felt like God is trying to tell you something, but you're not exactly sure what it is? Maybe you've been praying for answers, and all you're getting is silence, strange feelings, too many coincidences. But what if none of that is random? If you learn how to notice these spiritual signs, the way you hear God, make decisions, and walk through life will never be the same. What if these are actually signs God is speaking to you, and you just didn't know how to recognize them? But deep inside, something is silently screaming. That uneasiness, which many confuse with anxiety, might be much more than a passing emotion. It could be the first sign that God is speaking, an inner alarm straight from heaven. Today you are going to discover 3 clear signs that God is speaking to you, and most people completely ignore the second one. Share your experience so others can connect and reflect too. Not with thunder, visions, or audible voices, but through a peace that suddenly disappears without explanation. A holy disturbance. Have you ever thought about that? When God wants to shift your direction, He often starts by removing the comfort from your safe zone. Are you willing to recognize that call, or will you keep living on autopilot, ignoring the discomfort in your soul? Have you ever had that sudden restlessness that steals your peace, even when everything around you seems fine? Everything is stable, nothing is wrong. He tried to run from God's direction, and in the process, sank into deep discomfort. It wasn't just guilt, it was a divine warning. Don't run from it. Don't bury it under noise, social media, or even shallow spirituality. Instead, pray, reflect, say, God, I'm listening. Speak to me. That moment may be the beginning of your greatest spiritual shift. And could you also be trying to avoid a direction that God is making clear through silence? A lack of peace isn't always something to fix with distractions or busyness. Sometimes it's a sign to stop and listen. It's often in moments like this that God begins to move. Think of Jonah. So the next time that unrest shows up out of nowhere, drop a comment. When was the last time you felt this kind of spiritual unrest? And how did you respond? But God doesn't stop there. Sometimes He speaks more clearly than we expect, through repeated confirmations. Have you ever prayed about something and soon after started seeing that same message everywhere? They show up in different forms, from unexpected places, but they all point in the same direction. Why? Because God knows we often doubt. He knows our hearts need reassurance, and like a loving father, He repeats Himself until we get it. Messages and videos, verses that just happen to appear, random comments and conversations, even signs on the street. He asked God for a sign, and then another, and the Lord didn't reject the request. If you've been seeing the same message echo in different ways, don't brush it off as coincidence. Ask, Lord, is this confirmation for me? In fact, God confirmed with detail and care. That shows God doesn't mind repeating His will when He sees a heart ready to obey. A pressure inside saying, you can't keep living the same way. It's heaven's cry for your full attention. Not with fear, but with faith. And what if this shift is the preparation for the new season God wants to release over your life? Your story could inspire someone else who's hearing God's voice right now. Or maybe you're still searching for how to hear God more clearly. Share it with us. Your experience could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. That's not random. That's God calling you into a new season. A season of faith and trust in God, of spiritual sensitivity and alignment with heaven. Every day we post new content to help you grow in faith and recognize how God speaks with power and clarity. Are you ready to let go of the old and trust what's being born? What about you? Have you been getting confirmations, but missing them because of distraction? None of that is coincidence. This is the second sign. God confirms what He's trying to tell you. And what's even more powerful is that these confirmations don't come just once. It happened to Gideon. What once made sense no longer draws you in. Your plans lose their sparkle. Your desires begin to change. There's no logical explanation, but there's an undeniable force behind it. This is the third sign. God is transforming your inner life to align you with His divine purpose. Here's a simple reminder. Open your spiritual eyes. And this writing is silent, slow, and deep. There's no rush, but there is a destiny. You start feeling like you no longer belong where you are, like you're being called to go further. Have you felt that shift? Like this video if you've ever experienced that, and tag someone who might be receiving signs without even realizing it. And then suddenly, without warning, something starts shifting inside you. It is as if He is erasing old pages from your story and beginning a brand new chapter. Even more, this inner transformation often comes with a sense of urgency. Now's the time to respond. Comment below. What change has God been making in you lately? How many times have you felt that holy unrest, seen confirmations everywhere, or felt your desires change without warning? Drop it in the comments. Which of these signs have you experienced? Oh, and if this video spoke to you, make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell, and share this with someone who needs divine direction.